Hey, we go throw money on ourselves cause we rich, cause we rich, cause we rich. Ooh, ooh. You gotta go to the club, right? Throw money if you gotta flex, but pick it back up. Pick it back up, okay? In today's video, I'ma show y'all how I saved my first $5,000. Stay tuned.
And you believe that one can be both refined and ratchet?
Oh, absolutely. I'll show you how it's done. Who you calling ratchet? Hey girl, what's up? What's Auntie reading? Child, you know, baggage claim. Oh Lord. Here she go again. She does this every time. Sis, you wrote the book.
Oh, I don't care. It gets me every time.
Oh Lord.
Why I had to write it like that? Why I had to write it like that?
That can't be sanitary. She watching the news?
I'm rich. I do what I want.
Ain't you supposed to be making that video about the money?
Today?
Yes, that's today.
Why'd you say that?
Child.
The Ratch Batch wants me to tell y'all how I saved my first $5,000 and became a rich bit. I'll tell y'all.
Hold up. Not just like that.
Why I can't tell them like this? This is me. This is true. This is who I am.
You gonna be online.
Oh, on the tube?
On the tube.
Well, all right. Yes, welcome back to my channel, you filthy peasants.
I hate when she do this. Lady, go ahead and drink your ratchet wine. I mean, your refined wine.
Oh, it is fine, isn't it? What's up? What's up, guys? It's your girl, Marsha, aka MM Dulce, the author of Baggage Claim, a life story, available on Amazon. Thank you for coming back to my channel. And I said come back, which means you were here before, meaning you saw my last video. And if you didn't, get to know me a little closer. We're gonna become besties if you go ahead and watch the last video on how I'm a 27-year-old virgin.
That's not what this is about.
In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how I saved my first $5,000. Since I am a baller now, I'm qualified to tell you how you too can save your first $5,000 even in a salary under 40K. If you guys had not figured out by the last video, I'm very open. I don't care about talking about my personal business because I feel like I learned a lot on my journey, and I'm hoping that if I share some of my journey, some of what people would consider too personal, if you will, that you guys can learn something too. But without further ado, let's get right up into it.
Hold up. Auntie got some disclaimers for y'all.
This is not a get rich quick kind of scheme. I'm not going to be telling you about multi-level marketing. I'm not going to be telling you about Forex. I am not going to tell you how to steal from your baby daddy's pockets. I am not going to tell you how to finesse the IRS. I am not going to tell you about how to coupon like a pro, because that is not me. I am not going to tell you about Ibotta and all those other cashback apps. Whatever. None of that. None of these things. I'm going to seriously tell you guys about the things that worked for me, some things that you can probably exercise in your own life, and we're going to get right into it.
Hold up. One more thing. Auntie wanted me to let you know that in order for you to get your first $5,000 under a 40K salary, you need to have the dick mentality. Don't be nasty. Dick don't mean what you think it means.
First things first, pay yourself first. So my best friend over at the Cash Compass gives wonderful financial advice and insight on today's economy. And the first piece of advice I ever remember her giving me was pay yourself first. Now, I know what you're thinking. What do you mean pay yourself first? Like, I just got paid, I pay my, what? It means put money in your savings. The average American is not saving as much as they should. Now, no one can see you raise your hand, but Raise your hand if you have at least 3 to 6 months worth of your monthly expenses saved up in case of emergency, like a layoff. If you do not have 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, meaning including all your hard expenses and your soft expenses, we'll get into that in just a second, saved up, you are like many of the Americans that have this problem, and it's something that you really need to be mindful of. When I ended up homeless and jobless, I wish I had a savings account. That way I would have had an easier time transitioning from unemployment to reemployment again, when it should happen literally 9 months later. So honestly, 6 months is just a nice safe spot to be, but I was actually unemployed and jobless, kind of bouncing around between odd jobs for 9 months in 2016. That'll be a separate video. We'll talk about that then. Automating your savings is a surefire way to make sure that it actually happens. It's really hard to get paid and then send a nice chunk of your money into a distant account where you feel like you'll never see it again. That's usually how we view our savings account, which is why it's always a better idea to go ahead and just have it automated. So I went ahead and set mine up. You can probably reach out to your HR professional and they'll be able to help you set it up. But it's basically the same place where you set up your direct deposit. However, there should be an additional space for an additional account, and that's where you'll put your routing and account number for your savings account. Thank me later. Okay, with automating your savings, that's 10% of your discretionary income that you're able to save by the end of the year. So for me, that was a little bit of over $2,000. That is already almost half of my goal already met. This is exactly why paying yourself first is the first step that I'm actually mentioning. Secondly, I could not get close to meeting this $5,000 goal without budgeting. I hope you did not think that you would be here watching this video and I was not going to mention budgeting. If you have been avoiding budgeting because it seems like some monotonous, very tedious work, well, it is. But it is definitely necessary. Again, if you have that dick mentality, you are both disciplined and keen. And when you are doing both of those things, you must definitely budget. So when it comes to budgeting, I like using the Fudget app. All right, so the reason why I love Fudget is because it's free, it's simple to use, and you can create multiple budgets. So after plugging in all the right numbers in Fudget for my hard expenses, I create secondary budgets for all my soft expenses like travel and food. So for the record, hard expenses are what I would put in my primary budget, which would be things that are reoccurring monthly, like student loans, rent, car insurance, car payment, Netflix, and anything that you know automatically comes out every single month. Now, soft expenses, on the other hand, are things we know we spend on every month, but we can't necessarily pinpoint a price that we spend every month. For example, food, groceries, gas, hair care. You get the point. What I love about Fudget is that once I see what's left over, I'm able to do one of two things. I can either increase my budget in certain areas like going out to eat and definitely treat myself, or an even sweeter treat is the one that I get to taste later and put it into my savings. You guys have more money than you think. If you allocate your money wisely and stick to those budgets, you'll find that you're actually able to save more. So yes, budget, budget, budget. And when you budget, you do Fudget. Say budget, budget, budget. When you budget, you do Fudget. Hey. Now for my third tip, cash only. Now, I love my girl Crystal at the Cash Compass. If you are okay with using credit and you are not that weak in the discipline area of that dick mentality, check out what she has to say about using credit and putting everything on that credit card. She is definitely wise in this field and she can definitely steer you in the right direction that way. But for people like me that are not using credit cards, or at least I wasn't at the time, and you may not be disciplined enough to use credit, stick to cash. Cash is king. Cash rules everything around me. Get the dollar bill, y'all. So stick to cash. What a lot of people do, especially when it comes to managing their soft budgets, is that they will create cash envelopes. Now, one method I use that I absolutely adored, that I may have to start using again very soon because it was that effective, is the wall method. In the wall method, I would have in my closet somewhere a wall where I would post all of the 20s and each row would be 100. So if I had $500 that I had to spend for that month, I would literally pin the 20s up. Now what that did for me was allow me to see the money that I actually had, allow me to see what it was that I was spending every time I would untack a $20 bill or two $20 bills and go on about my day. What it also encouraged me to do was to take less money off of the wall because it actually felt better to see it there. Now see, this is kind of like a savings account, except there's no interest, so I don't know that I would prefer the wall method over putting it in an online bank like Ally, but I would definitely say if you are having trouble being more disciplined and if the savings account thing is not really your jam, the wall method is a wonderful method. Now, if you stay in the hood, if your roommate hood, if you know this just not for you, just let's not do don't tell nobody you're doing the wall method. The fourth way I was able to amass my $5,000 under a 40K salary was side hustles. Your girl did not play when it came to side hustles. You name it, I did it. From Uber all the way on down to goddamn watching dogs and everything in between. While you're here, go ahead and click that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss out on the content that is coming. It will definitely be spillage village, and I will give you all the tea in my teacup when it comes to side hustles because I have finally found the ones that actually work, especially for people that don't want to really do side work like that. And I'll tell you all about it. So please keep it locked. Hit that thing. Hit that thing. Alright, for tip number 5, it is very important that you are just being, like the K in the dick mentality, very keen. That means you are being very attentive and you are watching your budget very closely. Now, it's very easy to say that you're setting a budget of $50 for going out to eat and then you get that craving for ramen, like I always do. And next thing you know, $50 has turned into $85. You got to be very, 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 very on top of your budget in order for your budget to actually work. Kind of how that goes. While we're talking about budgeting, I'm just gonna throw this in. Your extracurriculars, you know what I'm talking about. Mary J. Listen, your extracurriculars need a budget as well. Okay, if you want to have I don't know if Mary Jane is legal in your state. It's not legal in my state, so I technically don't have the budget for it. But if it's legal in your state and if it's something that you like to partake in, go ahead and set a budget for it. If you want to make the budget indica XYZ amount and sativa XYZ amount, totally do you. Make sure you factor in needing an extra grinder or whatever. But listen, I might be laughing as I'm saying this, but it's so important. Go ahead and make a budget for your extracurriculars. I am not going to speak to any other drug, okay, because that's not what this channel is here for. I don't even know if I'll get monetized talking like this. Is that a rule? Don't do drugs. It's not legal. Let's move on. Now it's time for some random tips. I know some people may shop about 1 to 3 times a month and do large hauls. However, let me tell you why that is not a good idea. How many times have you bought something and not used it and then it expired? Especially for anyone that is big on eating their greens. Produce goes bad really quickly. Shout out to all my vegans out there. I see all 2 of y'all. I see y'all. But especially when it comes to produce definitely expires quickly. So what I have found works best for me is actually shopping on a weekly basis. When I shop on a weekly basis, I am able to think very keenly about what it is that I want for the week as far as breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks are concerned. Again, if you got a budget for those extracurriculars, you might want to add to that budget munchies. That's the last of that. But seriously, I like to think way ahead of time. Okay, what do I want for breakfast? What do I want for lunch? What am I going to snack on? And I try to make sure that I don't need to take any extra trips to the grocery store. That has definitely worked wonders for me, and hopefully it'll do the same for you. So definitely try weekly grocery shopping and keep it to what you know your family would need. It might take a little bit of time to figure out exactly what that is, but it's worth actually doing if it means saving you some money, which means more money to put in your savings. More with the food area, definitely on top of shopping weekly, try shopping online. Now, I am not sure about most stores, but stores like Walmart have pickup options that allow you to go ahead and shop for your groceries online. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh no, I like to be there to pick out my produce and things like that. Now, while I do agree with you there, one thing I do love about online shopping is the fact that, well, there are no surprises, boo-boo. There's no way I'm going to go to the grocery store with a $50 budget for the week and then be at 62 when I'm getting rung up by the cashier if I am over here online watching my total increase and being able to see exactly what I put in my cart. I'm able to avoid picking up unnecessary crap. That's usually why we go over budget. All right, when it comes to BOGO, stick to BOGO. Buy one, get one, okay? Do not do that whole buy three, get one free, buy one, get three. Like, no, it has to make sense, okay? You only needed one. Remember that you're there for the one, because these marketing tactics are set up to get you and get your money. Get your billions back, America. So, on top of shopping online when you can, scout the deals. Now, while I love shopping at Aldi and Walmart, I told you the seat and dick mentality is cheap, and Walmart got the best prices. I'm sorry, I'm not a Target broad. Y'all too bougie for me. I want a little Great Value cereal. Don't be bougie. Save your little $1.50 and get your Great Value cereal. It's gonna taste the same. The kids will never know, okay? I love Walmart and Aldi because they're very price competitive. However, I'm going to start going to Trader Joe's. What's your favorite grocery store? Where do you find the best deals? I am more than happy to know. Let me know in the comments where you like to shop for your things. Do you go to different places like I do? Let me know. I will go to Publix for my fruit. You cannot beat Publix prices when it comes to fruit. Buying one, get one free. And plus the quality of the fruit, I don't care how much it costs at Walmart. I'm definitely going to be more privy to getting the food at Publix because of the quality there. But when it comes to dried goods and non-perishables, yeah, I'm going to Walmart. Let's recap really quickly. We went over shopping online, we went over shopping weekly, and we definitely said scout the deals. Now, when it comes to food, once you figured out where to get your food and how much to spend on it, it's very important you bring your lunch to work. Okay, cook at home. If you cook at home, you will save so much money. Now, there's some of you out there like, what if I don't cook? Well, I'm not a big proponent of TV dinners because they're very high in sodium. I'll talk about that in a whole nother video about health. But I am a large proponent of frozen vegetables, steamable vegetables. One of my favorite products is actually this quinoa product that's actually USDA organic and non-GMO certified, and it's microwavable. It's a pouch, and it has quinoa and beans. It's super healthy for you, and it is cooked in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Hallelujah. So definitely no excuses in that department. There are several alternatives for you even if you do not cook, but cooking will take you a long way, my friend. I personally used to work in downtown Atlanta, and in downtown Atlanta there's several yummy places around us that are tempting to eat at. However, it adds up. $4 for breakfast, and let's say $7 for a lunch special, that's $11 a day. 11 times 5 is 55. You do the math. It begins to add up. Let's just say you're taking that same $4 and you're getting some bagels, and you like spend like another $2 and get some cream cheese. $6 is taking care of breakfast for the entire week. Hello, somebody. And let's say you want to mix it up. Well, like I said, if you're doing your proper planning before grocery shopping, you're already taking into consideration what you want to eat for breakfast as well as lunch, dinner, and snacks. So you might want to get bagels, cream cheese, and a box of cereal and some almond milk. Or whole milk if you into cow, whatever. Like I said, proper plan, you can definitely save money in that department. No, I am not saying do not treat yourself and eat out. Like I said, when it came to budgeting, if you want to do certain things like treat yourself and eat out, just make it a part of the budget. I used to do what I and Crystal over with the Cash Compass used to call Fat Fridays. We love Fat Fridays because all the rules went out the window, especially if we were on a diet, and we would go out to eat on Fat Fridays and enjoy whatever the hell we wanted. So definitely do not deprive yourself. Much like being on a diet, deprivation is the quickest way to temptation, opening up the floodgates to you doing what you're not supposed to do, like dip into your savings. Okay, so make time to eat out, but definitely make a habit of bringing your food from home and being super resourceful with your groceries, with bringing them to work. So since we were just talking about eating out, I definitely want to talk about the I and the dick mentality. Being impartial is super important. It might be really hard to tell your coworkers or your best friends or even your boo thing, hey, let's not go out tonight, or hey, I don't want to go out for lunch, I got some food. If people are on board with you making your goal, they will not judge you for not wanting to go out to eat. But being impartial is important because that means you are literally unmoved and unbiased with what's going on around you. You have to remember your goals are more important than eating out for the umpteenth time at goddamn Genia. I'm talking to myself because I got a Genia problem. Just remember, it is okay to say no to your friends and your bae. Unless your bae is me. Anyways, learn how to say no and you'll save some dough. Learn how to say no and save some dough. Learn how to say no and save some dough. Save dough, save dough, save dough, save dough. Learn how to say no and save some dough.
Oh.
I'm sorry. All right. Let's talk about alcohol. Okay, I am not a big alcohol drinker. I really don't like the taste of it, but I do like my wine. So when it comes to alcohol, listen, if you enjoy your top shelf stuff, again, deprivation is not what I'm here for. Definitely create a budget for it. You should have known that was coming. Create a budget for it and try to stick to that budget. No, there is no try. There is no try. Stick to that budget. Do not sleep on Aldi and Trader Joe's and other stores like it where you may find wine for like $2. I love my cheap wine, honey. It still gets me drunk. I see no difference. You can literally save on average $5 to $7 when you go ahead and switch over to the cheaper brands of wine. On top of that, keep in mind when you go out, honey, Hennessy is not $200, okay? Y'all go out and y'all get these sections. Wait. If you're going out and you're buying sections, you are not concerned with saving $5,000. However, if you are very serious about saving money, please be mindful of how much alcohol costs when you go out, whether it's out to eat or out at a club. It is always marked up. When you think about it, a regular bottle of Hennessy costs what, like $36 depending on the price and how much it is. When you get a fraction of that and you put it in a sugary drink, and how much does that cost? Like $12? When I do the math, I should be having a lot more Hennessy in that cup than what y'all pouring in. If you're really adamant about meeting these savings goals, you will learn to skip the drink, or you can do what I like to call parking lot pregame. When you parking lot pregame, you essentially create a mixed beverage with whatever top shelf liquor that you like with your chaser in it, or if you want to take it straight up, that's on you. And you go ahead and you go to your venue, consume it before going in, and that way you don't have to be tempted to buy an overpriced drink at the club. You're welcome, honey. One time, I smuggled one of those little, you know those little baby shots that they sell in the liquor store? Yeah, I had that in my wig. They ain't checked me. Getting closer to the last bit of tips. The next one you might not like, but oh well. Get rid of your unnecessary and overlapping expenses. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have Netflix, Hulu, Stars, BET, why do I always want to say BET? What's that? HBO and whatever, Fire Stick, you are doing too much, honey. You need to learn how to fine-tune your budget to the point where you do not have all these similar expenses. That can easily add up to about an extra $60 a month if you're paying for all of these different services. So I would recommend that you actually choose 1 to 2 of your favorite streaming platforms and keep it at that. Same goes for Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, and Apple. No reason why you should be paying for all 4 of these. I mean, me personally, I like to keep Apple. I have actually finessed. I have access to my student email. So I'm actually able to get my student discount. Plus, I work at a school, so whoa. If you do still have access to yours, try it. Save an extra $5, however much it is, because I pay $4.99, $5 for my iTunes, and some of you guys are paying $10. I know some of y'all are supporting Jay with that title, but honey, not me, boo-boo. I wants to save my money, so yeah. But you know, if you decided, nah, for the people, Marsha, I'm gonna keep Tidal, cool. Cut out Spotify and all the other ones, all right? But so there you go, figure it out. As a matter of fact, we share passwords anyway in this culture, right? If you have Netflix and I have Hulu, baby, let's just share. Or if you just want to pimp somebody out for all their passwords, baby, keep your bill at 0 and just collect them passwords. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, this next one is for you. When it comes to hair and nails, honey, some things, again, I'm going to say do not deprive yourself. I will definitely treat myself to 1 pedicure a month. I am not a fingernail, what do they call them? I am not a full set kind of girl. Them things get really expensive. I hear girls are paying $80 to upwards of $100 to get their nails done with them long little
No.
If that is you, do you, but I would say get to a place where you can only do it once a month. And you know what I'm going to say? Put it in the budget. Create a different self-care budget and throw that bad boy in there. But as for me, I am a DIY kind of girl where I would experiment with actually putting on false nails. And it would actually look just as good as the ones that I would get done at the salon. Now, whether or not they last as long, but whatever, ain't nothing a oh, glue won't fix. Don't do that. Again, what is the goal? We're trying to save our first $5,000 or more, and we need to cut back on certain expenses. So getting your nails done twice a month. Last thing with the beauty, I want to touch on lashes. My God. I understand that we are now in the age where people are doing the individual lashes, which this is nothing new, by the way. But anyways, I know that people are now doing individual lashes, and those can start off at $75 and go upwards on to the goddamn moon. Lord have mercy. I implore you, if you do not have an emergency savings set up, meaning you do not have anywhere from a month to even 3 months of your living expenses per month saved up, consider cutting back on the unnecessary things like lashes. I would rather you actually invest in strip lashes, get you a cute little pair of $5 minks and take it back to the good old days of putting them little strips on, honey, because you will save so much more money, especially when it comes to buying lashes. I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody buying lashes or anyone selling them for $20, but they do not cost no damn $20. Now, this might not be the time to plug AliExpress, but shout out AliExpress. That's where I get my lashes. That's where I get some of my makeup. That's where I get my wigs sometimes. Okay. That's where I get my earrings. I done told y'all too much. Okay, but I'm here to save money, and I want you to save money too. So don't sleep on AliExpress. The key with AliExpress, real quick, to all my ladies out there, is to look at what has the most orders first, then look at the reviews and click on the ones with pictures. You want to see pictures of the items and people in the items prior to buying them. I've literally bought $8 bathing suits, $5 bathing suits, $2 lip gloss, and at the end of the day, no one can ever tell because I look good. Seriously. When it comes to travel, I am not a fan of deprivation, like I said. Last year when I accumulated my first $5,000, I still went to Puerto Rico. Now, I believe in traveling on a budget, which means my favorite airlines are the ones that do things a la carte, which would be Spirit and Frontier. Now, some would argue that sometimes you can get lucky on Southwest. However, I have very rarely found prices that beat out Spirit and Frontier's prices. The reason why they are so affordable is because they do things a la carte, which means you have to pay for things separately. While Delta might give you a free carry-on, Spirit and Frontier will definitely charge you for those. But I have learned to be the backpack queen. This even still has a tag on, but I have gotten a bag from Ross because I do not get things from the Adidas store or Nike store. I'm going to Ross, honey. We could do a secondary video if y'all really want to know where I go for my things. But anyways, I will go ahead and get a backpack like this. And honestly, I'm never really traveling for longer than a couple days anyway. Most of my items can fit there. Quick little travel tip. Wear your bulkiest shoes and your bulkiest jacket so you have more room for other clothing items in your actual backpack. So with that, I'm able to travel and save money because, well, I'm flying for a little bit cheaper. On average, my plane tickets are very rarely over $200. If they are over $200, I'm probably going to the West Coast, and you guessed it, got my backpack. So second to last tip, do not sleep on dollar stores. Toilet paper. Although ain't no more toilet paper left in the whole world, is there? Literally, you can find anything at the dollar store. So don't be bougie. Take yourself to Dollar Tree and see what you can find there for cheaper before going to Walmart or Target for any of your other items. Lastly, yes, finally, you guys have made it through to the last step. Set goals and have an accountability partner. Now, I have shouted out Crystal like a million times over all of my different platforms, but it's because Crystal has been very, very special to me. Apart from the financial aspect, she's just a great person. But as far as her financial knowledge is concerned, she has helped me and guided me to making sure that I'm able to reach my $5,000 goal. So at the end of 2018, we decided that we would start an accountability partnership. And what that would entail is weekly meetings where we would talk about our goals and our progress in reaching those goals or some of the setbacks that we may have had. It's been one of the most beautiful and most fruitful things I've ever done with a friend. I encourage you, if you have someone that's like-minded that wants to get on track with setting and reaching certain goals, phone them up and talk to them about the prospect of starting an accountability partnership. Since the beginning of 2019, I have gotten so much done, including meeting my goal of reaching $5,000 and actually surpassing that amount. So with our weekly meetings, we would talk about how we're doing in reaching those goals on a weekly basis. So again, like I said earlier, budgeting is very important. So I would communicate certain things like, oh, I'm sticking to budget, or I'm not really doing so well, or I kind of overspent, or I'm having some trouble, or I had to dip back into my savings. The list goes on. But I kept it very, very real with her, and she did with me. So it was very, very effective.
Also, 52 weeks in a year means there are 52 opportunities to track our goals.
Please keep in mind, if you are going to pick an accountability partner, pick someone that is going to be like-minded and on track to help you stay on top of your goals, and make sure you are giving them that same energy back. That is why I think me and Crystal had wonderful years in 2019. We both supported each other when it came to reaching our goals. We gave the encouragement when it was kind of hard to meet certain goals, or when it looked like certain goals were not going to be met. Now, guys, if you are doing this right, if you are sticking to your budget, you will find that you have what it takes to save your first $5,000. Again, $5,000 may only cover just 2 months, but it's better than no months, okay? So sticking to that is super important. So have an accountability partner, create a goal, and stick to it. All right, that was it. I tried to keep this very, very short. The first video was over an hour long, so that would have been painful to edit. Now, while last week's issue of the Refined Ratchet definitely sowed millions upon millions of dollars in revenue, I decided this week I'll show you where I went on my Corona travel. Giza, and went somewhere in Denmark, and went around California, and I don't want to bore you, but not everyone can be me. No, but seriously, are y'all traveling during this time? I mean, because I seen a Delta flight for $43, and baby, I just told you how I go. So I don't know, I might just have to risk it, you know what I'm saying? Lunch in Barcelona, anyone? Hold up. Barcelona in Italy? Ain't they on lockdown? Alright, guys, that's all I have for you today, okay? I plan to tell you guys a little bit more about how I got some money, but I can't give it to you all in one video. I'm not that type of girl, okay? So stay tuned, because in the next video, I will be telling you a little bit more about my side hustle so you can get you some money, okay? Hello? Hold on. Let me finish telling them. The buddy be calling. But let me just finish telling them, okay? So stay tuned, okay? If you did not hit that subscribe button, what you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. If you want me to be a little accountability partner, I might could do something for you. Tell me in the comments what your saving goals are, what your problems are. Do you have a savings goal? Do you have a savings setup? Talk to me in the comments, y'all. I am here for y'all. This is a no judgment zone. We family now, okay? I'm coming. Hold on. Anyways, I gotta get to the money, okay? So until next time, be refined, be ratchet, and be you. Hello. I know. But see, what had happened was,
I sure do appreciate you.